Okay, so hopefully without being randomly kicked out this time. Don't know what happened. Possibly LCDR banned me. You never know. Check if anyone else is online on the alpha, just if anyone wants to jump in. And skim reading anything which may or may not be important / interesting in the Discord. Oh, speaking of things which may or may not be important / interesting, on the Discord there was some screenshots I saw from on the DLU, the Discord, which shows the underhand appearing in game. Now the now if I want to spawn something in, I'll generally go to the uniserver.com/info/objects and just find the and I'll just use Control F to search for the name of whatever it is I want to spawn in. However, if I do Control F search up underhand, nothing comes up. And so they've somehow managed to spawn in the underhand, which is brilliant, because that's like, I really wanted to see the underhand in the game, and I never did, and it was really sad. So they appear to have gone in somehow. I know they've got some very good developers or future content researchers working on that. Shout out to Avery. And I know they've been doing some interesting stuff, but Darwin said that he had it himself, which implies somehow it wasn't necessarily the future content side, or it wasn't the thing which I know for a fact that a couple of members of their team have been working on. Well, I suppose I don't know for a fact, but and it's about one thing that I know Avery's working on, or has worked on. In the past, which could have something to do with it, but you're still not going to let me die? There we are. Yeah, and I get eaten by a shark. Yeah, so I'm slowly... so apparently it didn't come from the future content team, which implies that the underhand is still... is decently close to being in the game, even though it's not in... well, I'm guessing it's not in client FDB, which is, for those of you who don't know, there's a big database. Once you unpack some of the files, you get a big database called client FDB, which is in a format, I wouldn't say exactly unknown, but it's a format which has been undocumented elsewhere, so we don't, so all we know about it comes from what we've decoded, and it's got nothing to do with Firebird databases, which is another database by that name. Sorry, anyone else notice the fact that this, that I last time got shut out of Avant Garden, so now I'm back here. Just noticed that. Okay. So what I'd quite like to be able to do, I don't know if it's actually possible at the moment, if LCDR's letting us, but I'd quite like to go to Nexus Tower. Now if I do this, you get an error message, but this, there's a half chance, well, no, I say half chance, less than half chance might work. So far, I've only actually successfully used it to teleport to to and from Avant Gardens and Nimbus Station. It hasn't let me teleport anywhere else. So possibly those worlds are just blocked and I can't get to them. Full stop yet. Case in point, this just teleported me back to Nimbus Station. However, being able to teleport back to the place you were is a useful way of resetting all the people, or not all the people, all the entities spawned in a particular area, because it kicks you out of the instance and then loads a new instance for you, rather than searching for a new instance before it kicks you out, but well, by the looks of this anyway, because if I spawn something in and then send myself back to the same place, that thing I just spawned in won't be there. And things which you spawn in seem to be instance specific and look like there will be all the way up to the thing that's happening on the 27th. lcdrU does plan to do some restructuring of the database, which would mean he could save things cross instances and potentially do stuff like saving entities spawned in, but at the moment that's not a thing. Your cape and where it's to. Okay, so yeah, I've tested quite a few places with that, haven't been able to spawn into any of them yet, but I get that me just spawning in different worlds probably doesn't make for brilliant viewing, so I'll stop after this one, but I don't know, Pet Cove will be an interesting place to see the Maelstrom, just because I seem to remember there isn't any. Just a horde of Maelstrom on top of the lighthouse might be, if there's not a lighthouse there and I'm misremembering entirely or remembering something completely different, I'm going to be annoyed. I'm pretty certain there's a lighthouse, and just a horde of Maelstrom would be interesting up there, because how would you get up there to attack them without sort of, you need to be concentrating fully on sort of parkour to get up there, unless of course there was a jump pad, which no, me. Actually, yeah, there was. So don't get misremembered. I did misremember. But I might put... Oh, enemies on the monuments would be quite interesting to see. Because then you could, like... Because there are certain places where you probably do want all of your attention focused on jumping. And if there's an enemy there, that could be interesting. I mean... Oh, the thing with the underhands, though, is... I'm just going to shut out again. That's brilliant. The thing with the underhand is things technically don't have to be in client FDB. Oh, I'm now debating, is it called client.ftb? Oh, is it something else? I can't remember the name of it. Off the top of my head. Yeah, do things have to be in there in order to appear in game if they're like objects? And I was just thinking about that. My instinct says yes, they need to be in there. But then again, the Looney objects thing, which I've been using, is I'm pretty certain exported from the FDB, and that doesn't include things like, for instance, the fans and lasers on the monument. You can't spawn those in, probably because they have something to do with effects as well. And so perhaps, well, evidently there must be things stored other places. Which we can spawn in. Not that I know. That's just got me thinking now. The other thing, which it might be interesting to take a look at spawning in, which I just saw whilst looking through the objects page, is NPC Brick Fury Hollow HUD 1. Now, to my eyes, what that's likely to be is, if you remember, in the sentinel area of Nexus Tower, there were the hologram things you could battle. It might be interesting to spawn those in, because I've spawned in like pretty much all the traditional enemies. I haven't tried spawning in the holograms, so let's just see. I don't know if this is the same thing. If they are holograms, maybe someone can tell me in the comments, but let's see. But nothing. Okay, maybe not. That's certainly something to keep in mind. If anyone knows if the hologram things are in client FD or in if they are on the objects table, let me know, because I won't pretend to have read through the entire objects table. Okay, let's go to the monument, because the monument's cool. I wonder if it notices captions. Hasn't ever seemed to. Yes, as people may have gathered, the upcoming event will involve spawning enemies, and I would be interested to see how spawning in enemies on places which really weren't designed to have enemies will affect the gameplay. Are certain areas significantly harder to pass through with enemies, or like could make things easy for people. If that is spawn phantom would work. It does seem, my guess is that it takes the direction it's meant to be shooting you from the ground it's on. And so if you've got uneven ground, it can shoot you. I have no idea if that's anywhere near correct, but I've just noticed it tends not to like it on as uneven ground, but that could be entirely coincidental. And is that okay? That's not happening. Okay, so we should get something that runs. Something for a bit of a speed boost, but exactly. Oh, that's quite interesting. Or maybe LCDR's updated things. Previously, those guys definitely would not have stayed there. Like, definitely not. Because I spawned in the other day, like 20, no, probably like more like 50 things, and then left the server, and they all disappeared, and I wasn't hugely happy. It was my own fault, but that doesn't mean I was happy about it. These guys with bomb. No, don't kill me, please. Actually. Oh! Too late. I suppose technically I could just get... the thing is, I was about to say I could just give myself some OP gear and kill them all. I don't think the Uber Hammer's stored in... yeah, okay, so there's got to be a thing about what is and isn't stored. What is and isn't stored in client FTB, because there's some stuff I definitely know I've seen in game which definitely isn't on the objects table. So for instance, the Uber Hammer, the horse mount, like neither of those are on their own client and main database. It's I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. I don't think it's client FTB. I could just go and look at it, but that'd be too easy. Wait a second. If all the stuff I did last time saved, then it's even weirder. Actually, I can't remember which time it was that I spawned in the... No, it wasn't the last time before I got kicked out. I was wondering when it was that I'd last spawned in that tower. But if things are going to start... Oh yeah, that's one place I'd quite like to spawn stuff. Right there. Right on the bus. Just let me on there, will you? No? Nope. These things really are slightly temperamental. They're cool and they're useful because it can be useful to have like ways of jumping up. But when it comes to using them specifically, using them in a specific place, they're more annoying. But potentially for, well, they've got a lot of potential for mini games and also for places like this. If you just need to get over an obstacle and you didn't have that, they'd come in handy. Fortunately, however, we do have that, and yeah. I'm also thinking they could be really, if I do some sort of event around here, they could come seriously in handy on the monument. It would be nice if I could. Thank you for teaching me how to double jump. Oh, there was one thing which quite interested me that I did find when going through the... No, I probably won't be able to find it now. Going through the objects table earlier, I tried... I don't know, this could be a glitch server side, but I came across a skeleton enemy, and it was a... Well, basically I had to build it. It spawned the quick build blocks, and I had to build the enemy, which was, I don't know, a little odd. Shall we go there? Yeah, since I found out about it, I've pretty much only been climbing the monument, the climb without any quick builds routes. But try Phantom. Go. No, please. I'd be interested to know what it is that determines whether or not the Phantoms work, but... Through. Still nothing. Okay. I can live with that. But yeah, so part of this is also planning where I can hide enemies. Because, you know, who doesn't love a randomly hidden Stromny 8 jumping out at you at the last second? Hopefully no spoiler alert for what I actually do, although I may just spawn Stromny 8 for some people. Okay. Here's the next step, I believe. Pretty certain I have worked out how to get any farther than this, and I'm pretty certain I spent a video, well, I may not have actually put that video out, literally just trying to do this, so, but okay. Yeah, I hate those. My depth perception really doesn't seem to work on those particular ones. I just like keep running at them for ages. Oh yeah, and there's no, I'm pretty certain there's no, yeah, there's no slash fly. Also, there's not really a slash help. It's not yet worked out how I'm doing this. Yep, anyway, so can't get up there at the moment because the Phantoms are hurting. And if I can type it correctly, that would also be appreciated. Yeah, so I can't spawn in any items, like most of what I can. Yeah, I can only like spawn in things which physically exist in the game. So if I, this is the code for the superior crossbow of blasting. Won't give me an error message, so it technically would have spawned one in, but it's just not an item really that you can spawn in. So I'm wondering what I can do from here. I suppose the other things I haven't checked. I've checked, like, I haven't checked instances. So I've checked if I can teleport myself to a lot of the worlds. I haven't ever really checked if I can teleport myself to instances. So like that's blocked. I suspect all of the major worlds are blocked, but so Nymph Station won't be, but Blockyard it will let me go to, actually. That's a thing. But so I've got a bit of a cold. There you are. Avant Grove. last check at least, it goes through this cutscene and then simply teleports me back to Avant Gardens. But maybe I might actually be able to teleport myself directly to Avant Grove. I'd be sort of interested to bet that's going to come up saying Avant Gardens. If it says Avant Grove, I'm going to be, so if it's Avant Grove, I was going to be so happy, because I sort of liked the battles you get in there whilst trying to claim your property. That's sort of nice, but no such luck. Okay, but I might be able to get into that via the /world command. It's unlikely, but it's worth a try. So I'm not going to lie, I sort of want to change up my rocket. I'll go for the pod rocket. This is what happens when you just spawn kill. Tally recos and stuff like that. Yeah, they're still there. It's really weird. Not going to complain though, because that means I would be able to set up. My previous plan was to get on like 2 hours early before the event. I was going to have that, but if I don't have to do that, that's going to be appreciated. I'll leave those out there. Someone can kill them if they want to. I might just hide enemies around here, because my YouTube channel is a fairly good place if you want to hide something. I love this world. It's always so much like Minesweeper, like trying to walk through here because there's a 90% chance you'll just hit a spider, unless you're going directly here, in which case this path is actually pretty safe. I really don't want to position. Oh, here's an interesting point. The spider boss in the objects list is not the same thing as the spider queen. In fact, in this instance, it doesn't appear at all. It did the last time I tried it. Maybe lcdrU has changed things since then. So I have sort of. I know, I'm spelling. It's probably in the spider boss processor as well. Yeah. Little guy over here. You walk through, tidy, there's absolutely nothing. And you notice it's got actually slightly odd lighting. Don't know why. But part of my policy for this event is I don't want to get in the way of anyone's normal gameplay. Oh, hello. Nothing I said about being like Minesweepers. It's just a 90% chance walking around that I'll just get hit by something. Yay. Fortunately, the upside of moderator privileges is I can hit back when normally I'm a bit too newbie to actually do any damage. I love how they just leave these areas like you can jump off if you want to. If you're really that stupid, you can jump. And if you want the person who's going to be stupid enough to jump off, that will be me. It's just I'd be really interested to see if these things stay. So let's see. Let's go elite dark spiderling. And hope it doesn't kill me. Just see if people notice. Ouch, he noticed. Okay, yeah, I'm really interested now to see if these things do if this is like a permanent change of lcdrU to the server, because that would mean that all this stuff I spawn in, people will get to run around and kill later on, and they may or may not enjoy that. The only thing which I'm going to have to work on for the actual event is that enemies are really, really underpowered against range. Like, if you've got a melee attack, actually fighting enemies is pretty much just as hard as it was normally, unless, well, as long as they're enemies that attack and not. If I were to spawn in a horseman, let's just demonstrate, they can't attack back. If I do this, I'm perfectly fine. This guy will look at me if I attack him, maybe, or it just won't. They do fairly often, but and apparently won't drop anything. But generally, but yeah, they won't fight me. Which it's going to be something to do with how their attacks are classed. So I'm pretty certain everything just uses their basic melee attack. How do you do that much damage to me? It's like, hey mate. Ooh, nothing's dropping anything. That suggests to me that I've just about crashed the server. Right, crashing the server is always very possible once more. Still no prouder moment than the time I somehow managed to have, according to the database, seven characters at once, even though the loading screen could only display 4. It was good, good moment. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go around hiding things, but if I go around and hide things on the video, or hide too many things on the video, they'll no longer be hidden. I can get away with asserting it, but I don't want to hide like proper bosses. This can hide some things there. So I don't think anyone who's actually watching my channel is in the alpha. Ouch. Yeah, I've lost so many coins doing this, just because I get killed by everything. Let's give some people a surprise when they get on. I'll throw at the word spawn. Don't hurt me. Too late. Yeah, nothing's dropping anything. Oh no, things are. Just not when I need them to. Hey. I love the spawn point some of the time. It's just, yeah, he's just died. It's just literally dropping right where he just died. Because that's not going to end in him being spawn killed at all. No, I just took the Ronin. Pretty certain. Sad. Invincible. Oh yay, I've got the invincibility glitch. That's going to be useful. Good luck anyone who actually wants to get in here. The thing is, I don't think certain ones of these anyway don't. Perhaps it's there are specific classes of Romans which like count as property ones, because there were the certain ones where when you spawned on the property, you could spawn as many of them as you like, and you could spawn yourself in a really overpowered position, so nothing could ever kill you. And so there was a huge potential for people just to grind them. That makes me happy. Wish I could have had some on top of the bus. That made me even happier, but that's good. This is good. Should really put away my attack, my weapon, because I will just kill them by accident, which will be sad. Right. Don't even know how to deselect it. Okay, so that's probably just about the end of the video. I might spawn in the odd other guy to surprise people. Let's get a Ronin invader. Woo! Okay, but this is going to be about it, I think. Out front. The idea is that in theory you could totally ignore everything I've spawned and have it not affect your overall gameplay. That's the idea, so people won't be forced into sort of unvanillaing their main accounts, because you can always just go through the other. You won't have to kill these, you can always just go through the other part of the wall. Spawn one last thing. Dark Ronin invader. Some very lucky person is going to get killed by this guy, and then we'll realise he can attack him with range, and then we'll kill this particular guy. AG is officially under attack. That's such a pleasing image. Okay, thanks to anyone watching. Tabbing out is so annoying on this because I always attack something. Anyway, yeah. See everyone / anyone on the 27th. Bye.